Hey, it's the 12 Days of Curtis and it's 2022. I have one gift to give you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Yeah.
Welcome
Welcome
to our first episode of our podcast.
Hats and Hoops.
Hats and Hoops.
Welcome to Hats and Hoops.
With Curtis and Morlie.
And Morlie, would you like to tell everybody why we're calling this Hats and Hoops?
Well, first of all, let's clarify.
Because I thought this was 12 Days of Curtis.
Well, it is, but
It is.
This is the beginning of Hats and Hoops podcast
Oh.
with Curtis and Morlie.
So
because I'm Morlie and you're...
And I'm Curtis.
Yeah.
But, so this is hats and hoops in our ears, right?
Not basketball hoops.
Hoops
Earrings.
Okay, earrings. Okay.
Yeah, because it's something that we both have an affinity for.
It's true.
Piercings, and specifically hoops.
Yeah.
And hats.
Yeah. Well, so it's hats and hoops, but it's inside of 12 Days of Curtis. So that's why there's all the Christmas stuff.
Yes.
And it seems only appropriate that since we are doing hats and hoops, kind of the Christmas 12 Days of Curtis edition.
Yep.
Then I probably should put this on then, right?
100%.
Okay,
you should
all right,
put
very
that
good.
on.
Let me get myself fully dressed here. Is that acceptable?
That looks amazing.
Okay.
Love it.
Everyone's good? Are we good?
You're looking
Okay, great. Well, welcome everybody to Hats and Hoops on 12 Days of Curtis 2022
Yeah, Christmas episode, baby.
with Curtis and
Morlie. Okay, I think we've clarified that. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do in our Christmas episode is we are going to do a Christmas Q&A.
Oh, okay.
And really, Curtis is really the feature here because this is 12 Days of Curtis we're talking about.
It is, yes.
So, we're really going to kind of feature Curtis on this particular Christmas podcast episode.
Okay.
So, Curtis?
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
For our first Christmas Q&A, I would like to know, what is your favorite Christmas memory from growing up?
My favorite Christmas memory from growing up. I think that one favorite Christmas memory that I have from my childhood is that my parents always got a real evergreen Christmas tree, and my mom had quite a variety of ornaments that we would put on the tree. Sometimes the tree was all white and she called it frosted. And when the frosted tree was out, then there were these very bright, brilliant blue ornaments, very silky, very they shimmered
on
in the
the
light.
frosted tree.
And only the blue ornaments were appropriate for the frosted tree. But when we had real evergreen, then we had a variety of lights. But my favorite lights were these kinds of light bulbs, like the big Charlie Brown ones. Those are my favorite ones. And so honestly, one of my favorite childhood Christmas memories is having a real evergreen in my house for Christmas with big lights.
Would you say that influenced, as a married couple and
Sure.
having kids, how we've incorporated some of that into our family traditions?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think that our family traditions currently are a mix of both of us.
Right.
There's things that you've cherished from your childhood that we have in our Christmas traditions now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certainly some that I've brought in from my own childhood that are here, and the real evergreen is definitely one of them.
Okay. So,
do you have more questions?
Yeah. Let's
okay.
do one more.
Okay.
I think you're going to like this question.
Okay, here we go.
If you could spend a Christmas traveling, where would you spend it?
This is hard because it wouldn't be just one place. I have always had this dream of going to, this is legit, I've always had this dream of going to Disney at Christmas. I haven't been to Disney since I was a child. And I would love to go back to Disney, and the boys haven't been.
I know. Don't tell people.
But all that said, I have always wanted to go to Disney at Christmas. Like, that's been kind of like a dream of mine.
When I was a kid, actually, because for any of you that don't know, I grew up in a lot of different places, but one of those places from the time I was 0 to 5, we lived in California.
Because you were born there.
I was born in California.
Yeah.
And my mom would take us to Disney or like Knott's Berry Farm every holiday.
Cool.
So we would go on Thanksgivings, we would go on Christmases, we would go on Easter.
Cool.
So for holidays, we would actually go like every year and up until I was 5.
And so that's a childhood tradition that I would love to incorporate into my own life.
Except for now, it's like $10 million to take a family to
You know what?
Disney.
Maybe when this podcast goes viral, there'll be a sponsor that will just like say, "Here, Hunts, we love you and we want to send you to Disney because your guys are awesome."
Yeah.
So we'll
Who knows?
why not have faith?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Ooh, oops. What is the best present you ever received for Christmas?
The best present I ever received for Christmas.
Could be any year.
Ooh. Okay, so this is gonna age me, but like, this is back in the day, like when He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was was very popular.
Yes.
And I was very excited about getting Castle Grayskull. I was very excited about that. And of course my mother was just very, very against the powers that would be around Castle Grayskull. So I think that she knew that I wanted it, but she was like, well, we're just gonna not do that. And so there was this one year that I swore that I thought I was getting Castle Grayskull in the Christmas present. And when I opened it, I was equally disappointed, but also excited at the same time because I didn't get Castle Grayskull, but what I did get was this like Tonka truck, like wheel, like car case. So it was in the shape of a wheel, and you opened it up, and like in there was like a little like coffin case of like all the places where you could put like your different Tonka trucks. And so it was like a Tonka truck case. So I
think I got one of those, but for Hot Wheels.
Yes.
Was it like that? Like the Hot Wheels, like.
Yes.
Okay.
It may have even
Suitcase?
been Hot Wheels.
Okay.
I may be forgetting the branding of it, but at any rate, I just remember feeling sad that like it wasn't Castle Grayskull, but it was so cool because it was this case where I could keep all of my cars.
Yes.
And so that was really dope. So that was a pretty cool gift that I remember.
Okay, we're gonna tell our age here, but like we're kids of the 80s. Like we were kids.
80s and 90s.
80s and 90s was when we were coming up. So we're late 70s born, but like we were kids in the 80s.
We're exennials.
We're late 70s babies, so 76 and 78. So we were kids in the 80s, teenagers in the 90s, okay? So in the 80s, for those of you who don't know about the 80s, like it was like that was the prime for like Black Friday and like toy.
Yeah.
What was it called? Like top toys that people would legitimately fist fight in stores over.
Well, and this was an era completely before the internet. So like there was no way to get stuff
online.
No, that
you had to go in stores and literally fight
in person, and like I mean, this was back in the day when people like would literally camp out overnight in front of stores, like just to be the first people in at like when the doors opened at like 4 a.m. or whatever it was. And so like this is such a different time, now. But at any rate, like I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't. I was just saying that like in the 80s, like that's what you like. There was one specific toy that they really marketed.
Yes.
That like every year that you like had to have. And they did such a good job. So like, I think it was different for boys. So like there was a doll that was called My Buddy. Do you remember that?
I do.
And Kid Sister. So do you remember
My buddy, Kid Sister and me is how it went. Something like that.
Exactly. was that. So my buddy and Kid Sister. So I definitely wanted Kid Sister. I wanted, I don't know if you remember, Teddy Ruxpin.
I remember Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy.
He had like a red hat and like a yellow coat, didn't he?
No, that's Paddington Bear.
Oh, I guess I'm wrong.
No, that's Paddington. But Teddy Ruxpin was just like a normal teddy bear. There was a cassette tape that like your parents or like that would come with Teddy Ruxpin, and he would read stories to you, or they could record like a message to you and would be like Teddy Ruxpin would be talking to you.
Very cool.
And I really wanted that.
You wanted that?
Yes. And my brother tricked me into believing that that's what I got for Christmas one year. So I had a similar situation with your Castle Grayskull situation, where like you were equally disappointed and
excited.
So excited, because I also that same year, it was all about Teddy Ruxpin and Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Oh my Lord.
And so I like wanted both of those. And I think I wanted Teddy Ruxpin a little bit more, but when my mom, she actually had to fight a lady for the last two. She did. I should have her tell the story. She had to fight a lady to get the last two Cabbage Patch Dolls in the store. Like, she called the store and said, I need 2 Cabbage Patch Dolls. They put them aside for her because I think maybe she knew somebody who worked there or something. So they set it aside for her. And then when the lady pulled them out, another lady who was looking for Cabbage Patch Dolls was like, that's not fair. That's not fair.
People were brutal.
It was bad. So anyways, we got Cabbage Patch Dolls that year, and I never got a Teddy Ruxpin. So I think it would be funny to like find a Teddy Ruxpin.
My sister made me this boy Cabbage Patch doll, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But it didn't have like the signature on the backside, like the ones that you got in the store.
And that was key.
Even though my sister's version was.
You have to explain what that was.
Well, there was like a signature
on their bottom,
basically on their backside, yeah. And it was green. It was like a green color.
Yeah.
And
it was stitched in.
It was almost like a branding thing, you know, like kind of like, you know, those fake Converse or whatever. Like, you know that they're not Converse, but like, you know.
And it came with a birth certificate.
Oh.
It was.
That's real.
It was a big deal. It was kind of like, what are those dolls that the girls really loved? The My American Girl dolls or whatever.
I wouldn't know.
It was kind of like that, like where like you could customize their outfits, and then you got a birth certificate, and then it was like certified.
It was kind of the precursor to Build-A-Bear in some kind of ways.
And now it's time for your most favorite, the most festive family blind tasting event of the season. Let's see who in the Hunt family has the most telling taste buds.
Marie, Ethan, Gabriel, Nathaniel, Dad. Welcome to your blind tasting.
Oh, that's like coffee.
That tastes like uncaffeinated coffee.
Is that hazelnut? Hazelnut.
I don't know what that tastes. That tastes like flavorless coffee.
That tastes like coffee.
It's like it's like a latte with a crap ton of milk in it.
I think if McDonald's made hot chocolate K-cups, this would be it.
And like you know how some people over put milk in? That's what this is.
Put too much milk in.
Over put milk in. That's what that is.
So it's hot cocoa with too much milk.
No, hot cocoa with too much. It's a hot cocoa latte with too much. No.
Thank you for your opinion.
You are very welcome.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was fun.
That was awesome.
What do you think?
I love it.
Our first podcast episode.
Do you love it?
Hats and Hoops.
Hats and Hoops.
Christmas edition, episode 1.
Welcome to Hats and Hoops with Curtis Morlie.
Okay. Well, we love you guys.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you again.
Yes.
And we will see you at episode 2.
Yes. Hey.
Peace.